Good morning, and happy Mother's Day. Thank you. A prelude of words this morning before a moment of musical contemplation. A Blessing for Mother's Day by Kate Bowler. Bless all our mothers, those who baked us in their bellies, those who held us in our arms, and cherished us in the quiet corners of their hearts. Feeling the weight of those small hands in ours, the joy that catches us off guard, the quiet power of being needed, the love that makes us braver than we really were. Bless all the exhausted and overextended, the ones holding it all together, the ones hanging on for dear life, the ones doing the best they can with what they have. And all of those learning to forgive or let go or start anew. Bless all who grieve, missing a mother or a child, or a relationship that just wasn't what it could have been. And bless all those for whom mothering is complicated, heartbreaking, incomplete, or never happened. May there be tenderness today, enough to honor what's beautiful, enough to name what still hurts, enough to hold the complexity without needing to tidy it up. May love, real, honest, ordinary love, be what finds you today and ever after. Well, good morning again. Thank you, Catherine. That was beautiful. My name is Rebecca. I have the joy of being your service coordinator this morning on this beautiful Mother's Day, beautiful sunny spring Sunday. Welcome to everyone who has come today. There's some new faces. Maybe you've come with a regular member or you've decided Mother's Day is the day to check out the North Shore Unitarians. You're all welcome. And everyone who watches later from home, we also welcome you and appreciate you being here. Here's the home of the North Shore Unitarians, where we gather on Sunday mornings to connect, share, and support each other in this very challenging world. Our mission is to empower, to inspire people to live with greater depth, meaning, and purpose. We stand in wonder at the beauty of this universe. We honor this gift of life by learning and relearning how to think and act well. We endeavor here to strike a balance between reason and belief, between intellect and intuition. We welcome diverse beliefs. As it's said, we don't have to think alike to love alike. We have shared values that guide our beloved community, the 8 Unitarian Universalist principles. And our focus is on this world, this life. No matter what we might believe or not believe or perceive about anything beyond this lifetime, we do and we act in the service of life that we all share right here and now, respecting the interdependent web of existence of which we're all a part. And we recognize that we're walking on the traditional territories of the Coast Salish people, and we are striving towards a better, more ethical way of living with all of the natural world and all its people. Please rise as you're able to sing our opening song, Love Will Guide Us. All right, well, each week here we start our services with the lighting of our chalice and our candles. And this week we invite up Shinal Nara, who's going to come and light the candles for us. Shinal lives in North Vancouver with her partner Scott and their puppy Twyla. Very sweet. No cat photos today, only dog photos, just saying. And Shinal, you're here today with your mom, Rita, hey? There you are, Rita. I just want to give you a shout out for your part in raising this wonderful, beautiful woman. Good job. Thank you for being here. Sure, yeah. She's taking pictures, I love it. That's a mom right in there. All right, well, Sheena works in victim services and very recently completed your master's in counseling psychology. Way to go. That's amazing. We need more of that in this world. You appreciate approaching people with awareness and humility, and you are mindful of different lived experiences, including the lived experience of standing here, having people watch you as you stand there lighting the candle. Yeah. You come from a religious upbringing, and you found yourself as an adult seeking kind of a sense of spiritual connection. And it sounds like you and Scott had a conversation last year and ended up kind of exploring Unitarianism through YouTube. Way to go, Malcolm. And then started coming here live. So we're really grateful that you're here. You said you appreciate the grounding nature of Sunday messages and the depth of the reflections that you find centering. So we're really grateful that you've been coming. Okay, that's it. You're out of the spotlight now. Yay, light the candles. Okay, as we begin the service, we kindle this flame as a symbol of our gathering. May the light of understanding illuminate our darkness. May the warmth of sharing bring us peace. And next we'll light our candles of joys and sorrows. There are many joys. We celebrate the amazing Butterfly Garden team who completed big work out planting and weeding on Friday. Stuart and Anne Midzane and Jean and Shay Rutherford and Vandy and Michelle Sheardown. Did I miss anyone? Thank you for your wonderful work to make the grounds look great. Check it out as you walk out afterwards. Another special joy, it's Jell's birthday today. Woohoo! No pressure, Annabelle, Mother's Day and your father's birthday on the same day, like just saying. Are there other joys to share? Yes, Julia? All right, it's excellent, Bob's birthday. Happy birthday, May 10th, both of you. And Julia? Oh, there you go, Julia's birthday. Excellent, it's just birthday Nirvana. And yours, Judith? On Wednesday. Last Wednesday or this Wednesday? Last Wednesday. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll note this down in the calendar. Half of North Shore Unitarians has a birthday this week in May. Any other joys? I have one last joy to share. Choir members who are here, do any of you have beautiful white and yellow flowers sitting in your house this weekend? Some of you do, yes, because after the lovely service for Brian Bland last Saturday, thank you again to everyone who helped and attended, there was a beautiful big floral piece left here in the sanctuary that we enjoyed last Sunday. Well, by choir practice on Thursday, it was definitely looking a little wilted, and so choir members took it apart and took it home, and we're delighted to say that they perked up beautifully. And I just need to share, this stands out for me because one of the last conversations that I knew of, Brian was talking about spring flowers. So there's just something so connected there, as he knew his final days were drawing near. So Brian, wherever you are, your spirit lives on, and you have again brought joy to the people of the North Shore Unitarians. We'll now light our last candle this morning, a candle of global concern. There's so much going on in this world that is not right. To honor our candle of global concerns today, I offer some words followed by a quiet reflection. And these words were taken from a piece, thank you, Shino, taken from a piece originally titled Appeal to Womanhood Throughout the World, but it later became known as the Mother's Day Proclamation. It was written in 1870 by Julia Ward Howe as an appeal for women of the world to unite. The mothers asked that their husbands and sons be no longer killed in wars. It was a pacifist reaction to the carnage of the American Civil War and the Franco-Prussian War. The appeal was tied to Howe's feminist conviction that women had a responsibility to shape society at the political level. So what I will read is an excerpt, but the full proclamation is number 573 in our hymnal. Here's the words. Our sons shall not be taken from us to unlearn all that we mothers have been able to teach them of charity, mercy, and patience. We women of one country will be too tender to those of another country to allow our sons to be trained to injure theirs. From the bosom of this devastated earth, a voice goes up with our own, and it says, disarm. Disarm. The sword of murder is not the balance of justice. Blood doesn't wipe out dishonor, nor violence vindicate possession. The great human family can live in peace. So in the name of humanity, may we promote the alliance of the different nationalities, the amicable settlement of international questions, and the great and general questions and interests of peace. Written in 1870. A moment of quiet just to consider the weight of these words in the light of the many current global concerns. Thank you. Well, today is Mother's Day, a day of celebration, honoring mothers, motherhood, maternal bonds, and the influence of mothers in society. We all have or had a mother. And of course, it complements similar celebrations honoring other family members like Father's Day and Grandparents' Day. There are many traditional celebrations of mothers and motherhood that have existed in the world for thousands of years. Wikipedia has this amazing entry all about Mother's Day in like 60 different countries. It's quite remarkable to read. In Ethiopia, for example, Mother's Day is actually a 3-day feast called Entrosht, and it's celebrated mid-fall at the end of the rainy season. In Finland, Mother's Day is the second Sunday in May, just like ours, and traditionally children visit their family homes and bring flowers and cards. But in addition, in Finland, it's a national bank holiday, and every year the president honors with medals some mothers who have done something exceptional and positive during the year. I think that's particularly funny because how many times have we had mothers say, "I deserve a medal for this"? Finland just followed it through. All right, Mother's Day in most Arab countries is celebrated on the 21st of March. Most communist or ex-communist countries only celebrate March 8th, International Women's Day. In Malawi, like many other countries in Africa, Mother's Day is a public holiday observed on October 15th, because that's the United Nations World Rural Women's Day. And in Nepal, there's a festival equivalent to Mother's Day. It's celebrated according to the lunar calendar in April or May. It honors mothers who have died, and it's the tradition to go on a pilgrimage to the Mata Tirtha ponds just southwest of Kathmandu. And the title of the day in Nepali literally means to see the mother's face. Beautiful. I could go on. It's fascinating to look at this from an international perspective, an international culture perspective. Our current experience of Mother's Day started in the US as the second Sunday in May, and that goes back to Julia Ward Howe, who wrote the Mother's Day Proclamation in 1870. So Julia, along with Anne Reeves Jarvis, they were both peace activists and suffragists who cared for wounded soldiers on both sides of the American Civil War. Now, I'll pause to admit that I wobbled over the word suffragist. So I took a little side dive back into history, because of course the word suffrage, it doesn't actually have the root of meaning to suffer, it means the right to vote. And we most associate it with women's suffrage, but the term actually originated early in the 1800s around in the US, the right of Black people to vote. And then it was only in the late 1800s that it became associated with women's suffrage and their efforts to get the right to vote. And of course, the media played into all of this. Reporters definitely took sides on the issue of women's voting rights. And so the word suffragette was coined by journalist Charles E. Hands in an article he wrote for the London Daily Mail in 1906. He used the diminutive ending "et" on the word to mock, to actually disparage the actions of the militant suffragists, women like Emmeline Pankhurst, right? The organization Women's Social and Political Union. Well, they didn't mind. They actually gladly embraced the term and started calling themselves suffragette with a hard G, proclaiming they didn't just want the vote, they were going to get it. So it slowly evolved over time that the word suffragette referred to those who were more militant in working towards the means that they were seeking, while more conservative organizations choose to keep the word suffragist. I digress, but I'm equally humbled and re-educated by history and language. History isn't about dates and places and wars. History is about the people and the stories who fill the spaces between them. So in the 1870s, suffragists Julia Ward Howe and Anne Reeves Jarvis appealed to women to join in support of disarmament and asked for June 2nd, 1872 to be established as Mother's Day for Peace. That's where it came from. And of course, the US Congress denied this request. In the 1880s and the 1890s, there were several further attempts to establish an American Mother's Day, but these didn't succeed beyond the local level. And then the campaign to make Mother's Day a recognized holiday in the US started again in earnest by Anna Jarvis, daughter of Anne Reeves Jarvis, to honor her mother's efforts. So in 1905, the year her mother, Anne, died, Anna again asked Congress to set aside a day to honor mothers. And she wanted to honor all mothers because she believed a mother is a person who's done more for you than anyone in the world. And of course, Congress again rejected the proposal, joking that if they made a Mother's Day, they'd have to make a Mothers-in-Law Day. So Anna persisted. In 1908, she organized the first Mother's Day service of worship at Andrews Methodist Episcopal Church in West Virginia, which to this day still has the International Mother's Day Shrine. And eventually, Congress relented. On May 8, 1914, Woodrow Wilson signed a proclamation designating Mother's Day to be held on the second Sunday of May, a national holiday to honor mothers. It's a bit ironic that the proclamation of Mother's Day, originally a plea for world peace, passed early in 1914, only to be followed months later by the start of World War I in the summer of 1914. You know, growing up in a British family, the daughter of first-generation immigrants from England to Canada, I was always confused about the date of the British celebration of Mother's Day compared to Mother's Day in Canada, which is always the second Sunday in May. And in Britain, Mother's Day was originally called Mothering Sunday. It's been celebrated since the Middle Ages as the fourth Sunday in Lent. This year it was March 15th. But Mothering Sunday was originally a day honoring mother churches, the church where one was baptized, because you therefore became a child of the church. So Christians would attend a service on that Sunday, either at the church where they were baptized or the nearest cathedral, because cathedrals were considered the mother church. And in the 16th century, anybody who did that was kind of the common parlance was to say that they went mothering if they went to the service. Over time, British culture has, of course, shifted the focus of celebrating their mother church to incorporate celebrating Mary, Mother of Jesus, and then gradually expanding to include Mother Nature. And these days, although the date of Mother's Day in the UK is still the second Sunday in March, the fourth Sunday in Lent, the celebration itself is very similar to our Mother's Day celebrations. Two fun last little tidbits about Mother's Day. Anna Jarvis, the daughter, the one who campaigned successfully to get the government to recognize Mother's Day, she specifically noted that the word mothers in the title should be singular possessive, M-O-T-H-E-R''S, because it was important for each family, she felt, to honor their mother, not just a plural possessive commemorating all mothers of the world. And Anna quickly grew disenchanted with the rapidly growing commercialization of Mother's Day, store-bought cards, and floral industry. She was so upset at one point that she even attempted to have Mother's Day officially rescinded. Ironically, when she died in 1948, after a prolonged hospital stay, legend says that a portion of her medical bills were paid for by local florists. History is indeed complicated, and it is all about people and their stories. All right, let us stand and sing hymn 108, My Life Flows On in Endless Song. But note, the lyrics we're going to sing have been lovingly crafted by our very own Linda Pratt. The traditional lyrics seemed a little bit less relevant to us, so thank you, Linda, for your creativity and your courage in sharing. Let us stand. Thank you, Linda, for some beautiful new words. Well, please welcome Patrice Pratt up to the podium. Patrice has been attending NSU for the past year, introduced to this beloved community by longtime friend and colleague Elaine Duval. And Patrice is going to share a story of her experience as a mother. Thanks, Patrice, for bravely coming to share with us.
And I'm waiting for the elevator, but I guess you won't have one right here, but thank you. Wow, I am moved tremendously by all the introduction and the suffragette and the feminist things. That's sort of been my life. So thank you for all that, Rebecca, and thank you for asking me to share some thoughts this morning about being a mother to Jordana. There she is taking pictures too. She's doing it. I said I was going to do something about being a mother on Mother's Day at my new Unitarian Church, and Jordana goes, "Can I come so I can hear what you say about me, Mom?" So that was pretty hard to ignore, so here she is. Sweetie, you don't have to take the whole thing. It's actually filmed by, that a girl. So I'd like to start with a wonderful quote. Making the decision to have a child, it is momentous. It is to decide forever to have your heart go walking around the outside of your body. Makes me, yeah. And that's from a woman named Elizabeth Stone. So I'm going to speak mostly to Jordana today. I'll tell a few facts, but I'm going to address this like a letter to my daughter. So Jordana Rose Pratt, you were born on December 14th, 1978 at 7:31 a.m. after a night of hard labor. Your breathing was irregular, so you were immediately put into an incubator at Kelowna General Hospital. I started to worry right away, and I guess as your mother, I've now worried for 47 years. Much to your dismay, I know. We were finally diagnosed, you were finally diagnosed, we were certainly as well, with a rare condition called Williams syndrome. And we had quite a journey to find out what that actually was. For your first years were challenging with lots of colic. You would go down for the night around 8, and then in an hour you'd start to make little noises that range into full tilt screaming in an hour. Then I'd be walking the floor trying anything that I could think of, and the night would begin. Any suggestion from others was gratefully received, and I'd try it. Put a little brandy in her milk. Try chamomile tea, on and on, but nothing worked. Our cats often joined, there are cats today. Our cats often joined in and started howling just for company. So I had her screaming and I wasn't sure you would sleep the whole night until you were at least 4 years old. So I was sleep deprived for many years. I remember one time that I was scheduled for my job at the BCGEU as a staff rep to do a number of classification appeals after another rough night with very little sleep. We often waited weeks or months for an arbitrator, so these were long-awaited and critical issues. I was presenting those appeals on behalf of BCGEU members that day, so the responsibility weighed very heavily on my shoulders. But so did something else. I found out later at the end of the day when I came home. Dressed for success in my professional blue suit, I had picked you up for one last hug, and then not knowing that I had a little bit of spit up on my shoulder until I got home at the end of the day. So, I mean, I felt very professional, right? This blob of. While I was being mom, you constantly and continually taught me lessons that I now understand and appreciate even more. My work with the BCGEU in the community, United Way Lower Mainland, Vancouver Foundation, co-ops, etc., required me to talk and relate to people in those organizations and people we were helping. Folks in the downtown east side, in the disability movement, and I knew how to do that because of you. I am not afraid of having a conversation with street people about difficult subjects, things that don't come easily to most people, because I was advocating for you and I knew the issues. Many times when I tell you why I'm concerned about something based on past behavior, you always say to me, "That was then and this is now, Mom." And it's still hard not to speak about my worries when I want to protect you or try to change something or warn you about what you're doing or may do. Or may do, and that's a mother's job, you know, I say, Jordana, that's a mother's job. I understand that we are all tabs, I learned in the disability movement, temporarily able-bodied, and that could change any day. Have an accident on the hills or something. I also remember so many times when we traveled to cities and countries on vacation, and when we passed homeless people with donation cups sitting on the street, you would have none of your souvenir money left when we got home. I also remember that you scolded me when I made comments about various people. You would tell me that I was too critical, too judgmental, and I would pause and reflect about what I had said and often thought you were right. Also, with various work and leadership positions that I had, you remember that you came to many, many meetings. You once said that often kids who misbehaved had to have time out or some kind of reprimand, but you just had to come to boring meetings. I also had my cell phone with me, and many times it would ring because you had a question. Wherever you were, you needed an answer. My union buddies were aware that my phone was my baby monitor, and I'd be often speaking or at the front or on a panel, whatever. It was always interesting. So I'd answer and say I'd call you back as soon as I could, and I'd hand the phone to one of my friends or a colleague, and they would talk with Jordana and say she'll call you and whatever. But, you know, I was always in touch for the whole time. You and I were a package, and my community, the BCGEU, understood with that and was supportive that I was a single mom and I was a union rep. My main workplace office was in Burnaby, next door to Burnaby Central High School, and you came over after school to sit in my office waiting for a ride home. The problem was that you tried to go visiting the offices of all the people that you knew, including President John Shields. We agreed to some rules at one point then, and you only visited John on Friday afternoon after 4 o'clock. That was the rule. Just this morning, after again Rebecca gave me the great honor to be able to speak today, I was rifling through old Jordana boxes and of things that, anyway, I have some stuff. So here's what Jordana wrote, and I'm not certain of the age, but she dictated to me and I typed it out. Who am I? She had to do a who am I thing or something. She has straight purple hair, a loving face, and brown eyes. She's got it all. She is an American Canadian. She is skinny and has fair complexion. She always wears earrings and rings. She also wears necklaces, a bracelet, and a watch. She works at a government union. She likes talking to her beautiful daughter about her day. She likes watching the news, but in my opinion, it is very boring. She also does NDP work. Sometimes I probably should wear my glasses. Sometimes she's like a dragon at home and on the road and in the car. But sometimes she is sweet as an angel or a kitten purring, and sometimes like Cinderella's stepmother and sisters. I know. And all of the time, she is the most beautiful mother in the world. I know, and that's really good. And then just one last thing, and look at this. I'm going to try to read this. I think I'll be okay. It's Jordana's resolutions for 1995. Don't complain when asked to do chores. Accompany her on walks and trips to stores. When a friend phones or visits at our house, be quiet as a mouse. Don't get mad at her, let her have her say. Show her how much you love her every day. When she's tired, don't complain. Show her you'll be there for her again and again. So I just cannot tell you how grateful I am that Jordana has come to me and that I'm her mom. I know I've been very excuse me, I should have brought water up. That's a problem, but I'm good. I know I've been very judgmental about your favorite entertainment, wrestling, WWE, and all the other organizations whose initials and names I can't remember. But you know all the wrestlers, all their stats. I am now well past that and happy for you and your chosen friends and community. I'm so happy and grateful on this Mother's Day, another time, to have nurtured, tried to protect you from the slings and arrows of some members of the community. I am so grateful for all the hugs, Christmas, birthday cards, homemade and beautifully chosen, with messages that made me cry. So thankful for the flowers. Oh, I haven't even checked to see if we had any. There's a picture of Jordana with flowers. That first one was my mom, by the way, holding Jordana. And this would be a Mother's Day of past when she brought me flowers. Yeah, wonderful. Christmas birthday cards, homemade, beautifully chosen, messages that made me cry. So my lovely daughter, Jordana, I am so happy and privileged to be your mom, and I've learned so much from our journey together. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrice and Jordana. Welcome to the end of being alone inside your mind. You're tethered to another, and you're worried all the time. You always knew the melody, but you never heard it rhyme. She's fair and she's quiet now. She doesn't look like me. She made me love the morning. She's a holiday at sea. The New York streets are as busy as they always used to be. But I am the mother of Evangeline. The first things that she took from me were selfishness and sleep. She broke 1,000 heirlooms I was never meant to keep. She filled my life with color, canceled plans and trashed my car. But none of that is ever who we are. Outside of my windows are the mountains and the snow. I'll hold you while you're sleeping and wish that I could go. All my rowdy friends are out accomplishing their dreams. But I am the mother of Evangeline, and they still got their morning paper, their coffee, and their time. And they still enjoy the evenings with the skeptics and the wine. Oh, but all the wonders I have seen, I'll see a second time. From inside the ages through your eyes, you are not an accident where no one thought it through. The world has stood against us, made us mean to fight for you. And when we chose your name, we knew you'd fight the power too. You're nothing short of magical and beautiful to me. I'll never hit the big time without you. So they can keep their treasure and their ties to the machine. For I am the mother of Evangeline. Oh, they can keep their treasure and their ties to the machine. For I am the mother of Evangeline.
So beautiful. Thank you, Kathy. And thank you, Patrice, for sharing your story. And Jordana, thank you for being here, for cheering her on. Well, let's just talk in these last few minutes about nurturing. I mean, mothering and Mother's Day has this obvious component of birthing, incubating and baking a baby for 9 months or so, and then delivering it into the world. Caution on Mother's Day to anyone who might think of correcting or confronting a woman in labor or challenging anyone's story about labor. Labor is one of the most powerful examples of sheer human strength. There's nothing more fearless and ferocious than a woman trying to essentially poop a baby out. But I won't go on to share any more stories of labor and delivery, but it might be a fun conversation starter at soup over lunch. But let's just talk for a moment about the concept of nurturing. All human beings need to be nurtured. And nurturing begins before birth and continues throughout life. I've been thinking a lot lately about how we as adults still need nurturing. But it's not necessarily a natural thing to seek or receive. The word nurture comes from the Latin word nutritura, which means to nurse, to nourish, to promote growth. One dictionary defines it as the process of caring for and encouraging the growth of development of someone or something. We humans are complex organisms that need nurturing our whole lives. And it's obvious that nurturing is relational. We're mostly nurtured by others. But as adults, nurturing also includes the relationship we have with ourselves. The choices we make about self-care, our priorities, our boundaries, how we sleep, what we eat. Those things can all be nurturing or not. When we choose to nurture ourselves, we grow in confidence and our relationships improve. When we feel nurtured, we thrive. We bloom. So I've been asking these questions of myself, and I'll share them. What is nurturing you? What are you doing to seek nurturing or allow yourselves to be nurtured? Because nurturing ourselves isn't just about self-care or boundaries or choices. It's this vast concept and changes over our lifetime as our daily needs, experiences, expectations and desires shift. Nurturing is mental and emotional and physical. It's about our inner needs, our immediate space, our community, and of course, our larger world environment. It is about being aligned with our values, our intentions, and our purpose. And adult nurturing, it's really trying to help us heal from stress and from past pains, helping us seek inner peace, breaking cycles that keep us stuck and unsatisfied. So, what is nurturing you? What are you doing to seek nurturing or allow yourself to be nurtured? These questions are not easy ones. Many of us learned from childhood not to trust ourselves or not to put ourselves first. We may have been taught that it was selfish or needy. We may have been conditioned to always please others and meet others' demands without prioritizing our own happiness. And some of us have just had so much stress and challenge in our everyday just to pay bills or to care for our loved ones that looking after ourselves just couldn't happen. Only when we're in a somewhat stable situation is there space and time for self-nurturing. There's this whole commercial wellness industry out there about nurturing ourselves, most of which is not actually helpful or nurturing. And frankly, I think it's awful to those people who are just surviving day to day. If your living situation is challenging or depleting, then no amount of green smoothies or yoga will let you feel properly nourished. It's just another thing to deplete people's finances. So as I've thought about this idea of self-nurturing, I'll share a few thoughts or tips. And of course, top of the list are things like practice awareness and gratitude, cultivate mindfulness, seek support, seek community. Those things aren't a hard sell here in this group of people. But here's a few others that I thought were less self-evident. Here's one. Reflect on what you're passionate about, what makes your heart sing, and then ask, how much time do I allow myself to pursue that passion or to immerse myself in that activity, versus how much time do I spend on other empty pursuits that don't bring me joy or enrichment? I mean, that is a healthy exercise in the idea of self-nurturing. How much touch do you have in your life? Touch is nurturing. Hugs, handshakes, touching arms. I saw this thing on the news the other day. It was about a hairdresser, and the hairdresser commented that for some of her clients, she is the only touch they have. Annabelle, how many hugs a day do we need?
4.
That's right. How do we know that, Annabelle? 4 hugs a day, that's the minimum. 4 hugs a day, not the maximum. It's a children's song by Charlotte Diamond. Our family sang it a lot. Touch matters. Another tip that's often quoted, engage in creative expression, but I like this way of saying it better. Allow yourself to play. Allow yourself to play. And of course, connect with nature. And then one that I need to remind myself of every day, embrace imperfection. Show kindness, compassion, and forgiveness towards yourself. My last suggestion related to self-nurturing and ever so pertinent to Mother's Day is today, spend a few moments reflecting on your mother. Think about who she is or who she was, what you remember from growing up, what she taught you. It's an important part of reflecting on what nurtures us, because so much of what we learned about nurturing, for better or for worse, came from our parents, and mostly first from our mothers. As I approached this service on Mother's Day, I spent time reflecting about my own mom. I think of her often. I'm very like her. I see myself in her and her in me. I carry her with me. And these days, I think of her often in her new world as she recreates a daily life without my stepdad, her partner of almost 40 years, who, as you know, died this past January. There are others here among us who are in a similar situation. I think of her courage. I think of her grief. I think of her efforts to desperately create new ways to create and experience joy. I think of her in these days of grief and struggling memory, and even in these times, her caring is so evident. It exudes from her. It leads her, it saves her, and it permeates and vibrates in and with those who orbit around her. These past few months, she's been so surrounded, so held by friends and family who are circling around her, just in the way that she has offered care and support to them over the years. She's now being nurtured the way she has nurtured. It's sad. It's good. It just is. I so value the things that I learned from my mother that I'm still learning from her. I value choosing to be positive, to carry optimism. I value art and music and theater, how it makes me stop and think and feel differently. I value humor and laughter and playfulness. I value eye contact and smiles and helping others, connection and community. I value the things I learned from her. I'm glad for what I learned to do from watching her do. I'm also glad for what I've learned not to do from watching her do. My values have evolved to be a bit different from hers, but I carry her with me, just as you all carry your mothers too. And so it's my hope on this Mother's Day that we can all bless our mothers for the good that they did, the good that they gave us, and gently and lovingly forgive them their faults, if we can. May we understand they did their very best that they could in each and every moment. And may we remember that we don't automatically just become like them. We don't have to if we think and reflect and choose carefully, if we live with intention. And it's my hope for many of us who are parents or who will be parents one day that we can remember in raising children that we are doing, have done, or will do simply the best we can in each moment. It's my hope on this Mother's Day as we reflect and bless our mothers that we can also bless ourselves for the good that we did and do and gently and lovingly forgive us our faults. Because we will have given our children many wonderful things that are treasures, and we too will have given them things that are not helpful for them in their lives or the world of the now or the future. And we must allow them to let these things go. Let them carry us with them and let them evolve, find, and express their own values and live with their own purpose and intention. That is perhaps how it can be, perhaps how it rightly should be. Amen. Amin. Shalom. May it be so.
Now touch the air softly, step gently 1, 2. I love you till roses are robin's egg blue. I love you till gravel is eaten for bread, and lemons are orange and lavender is red. Now touch the air softly, swing gently the broom. I love you till windows are all of a room, and the table is laid, the table is bare, and the ceiling reposes on bottomless air. I love you till heaven rips the stars from her coat, and the moon rows away in a glass-bottom boat, and Orion stepped down like a diver below, and earth is ablaze and ocean aglow. Love you till heaven rips the stars from her coat, and the moon rows away in a glass-bottom boat, and Orion steps down like a diver below, and earth is ablaze, ocean aglow. So touch the air softly and swing the broom high. We'll dust the grey mountains and sweep the blue sky. I love you as long as the furrow, the plough, as however is ever and ever is now. And I love you as long as the furrow, the plough, as however is ever and ever is now.
So beautiful, thank you. Well, I now invite us into the spiritual practice of generosity. Designated funds in our collection plates go directly to local, non-for-profit registered charities. Undesignated funds go to support our internal operations. So this month, we're supporting OceanWise. We need the ocean needs us. Our ability to thrive on this planet depends on it. And OceanWise is this amazing organization that takes meaningful action to protect and restore our ocean. It works with business leaders, with schools, with researchers to do things like protect whales, restore biodiversity, restore fish stocks, innovate for a plastic-free ocean. Their website is well worth perusing. And their annual report showed all kinds of things about even things on the North Shore, sessions in Lynn Valley Elementary School, for example. This past year, they had 192 funded youth-led projects and 23,000 hours of community service. So you can donate today by using a variety of methods. If you pay by cash, please put it in an envelope and put your name on it so we can send you a tax receipt at the end of the year. If you wish the donation to go to OceanWise, please mark it on the envelope. Please give as generously as you're able. Will the ushers please come forward? Thank you, Catherine. In great gratitude for all the ways that we contribute to organizations outside of our community. Thank you for all of your contributions this morning. Thank you. We give thanks also to everyone who pledges annually to support our staff, service team, and these beautiful facilities. The work of this community relies on some financial support. And of course, all the ways people volunteer in so many ways. We couldn't do what we do without all the ways we contribute. A few announcements this morning. I can't smell it, but there is soup brewing downstairs. Can you smell it? Okay, it's maybe just not wafting up here yet. Please join us. It's $5 suggested contribution, but with or without the $5, please just come. It's one of the ways we continue to build community. This Thursday, Elgene is offering a writing circle. Woohoo! Come join 1:30 to 3, no prior writing experience required. All are welcome. Next Sunday, Bruce is going to do a service titled The Moon by Whale Light. The Moon by Whale Light. Let's just say it's a service about the world down deep. There's some library books that are available for the taking as we're trying to downsize the library space in anticipation of a new elevator construction, hopefully starting soon. That is, by the way, why the art is gone from our walls. It's anticipating the construction of the elevator. So, and lastly, if anyone's interested in membership here at North Shore Unitarians, we don't talk about this very much, but if you're interested, please speak to a board member or a service team member. Are there any other announcements? Well, then let's rise together and sing our beautiful song, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. Let's belt this one out. Please be seated. Just some short closing words. A beautiful little poem called Mother by Nikita Gill, an Irish Indian poet and writer based in South England. Mother, the water of a womb, your first home, the body she pulled apart to welcome you to the world. The spirit in you she helped grow, and with all she knew and all she had. The heart that she offered you when yours fell apart. You are her soft miracle. She gave you her eyes to see the best in the worst. You carry your mother in your eyes. She's proud of you and all you do. Let us together close our service. We extinguish this flame, but carry with us the light of vision and the warmth of hope. The world calls us to live with depth, meaning, and purpose. We go forth with courage and love. Think of your mothers, my friends. Happy Mother's Day. Let us circle around.